Focusing on life here in and around Whitley County, you're listening to Mondays with the Mayor on WJHS 91.5. The city, the county, the streets and roads, and most importantly, the people. Listen in, learn, and share an opinion hosted by the students and community of Columbia City. Views and opinions expressed here do not represent WCCS, but are intended for entertainment and educational purposes. Find us online for more. Search for WJHS on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more. Now, Mondays with the Mayor.
Good afternoon, Columbia City. Today is January 17th, Monday. It is a Monday, never those good days. I'm your host, Jonathan Peters. This is Mondays with the Mayor. In the studio today, we have
the mayor.
The Mayor.
Hi.
I was going to get to him last. Everybody. So
Mayor Ryan Daniel of Columbia City, of course.
Hello.
I'm going to go around, introduce everybody. Everybody can introduce themselves. Let's hear a fun fact about everybody.
So, yeah.
Let's start with you.
Well, my name is Chloe. I am currently a freshman, and I am incredibly interested in teaching as a future career.
Nice.
I'm Mr. Glaza. I am a teacher with Columbia City High School, the media program here, WJHS Studios. Lovely to be having the mayor in to chat, community updates, a place for discussion and open forum, and kind of a throwback to the 90s of WJHS with something that we could bring back and let our community talk back and forth. Of course, if you have questions or if you have something that maybe you want to engage on, find WJHS on social media. This is just a place for asking questions, getting updates about the community, and giving a place to tell terrible jokes. This is the short version.
Dad jokes most of the
All right,
time.
and we have one last student to introduce.
My name is Mason. I'm also a freshman, and I'm interested in business.
Nice.
Business. All right.
Nice.
So, Mr. Daniel. It is Mr. Daniel,
Hello.
right? You always give me on
Mr.
that.
Mayor, doesn't matter.
Mr. Mayor.
Whatever.
All right.
Or
Mr.
no,
Mayor.
I'm saying Mr. Daniel or Mayor Daniel. Either of those are.
Mr.
El Presidente.
Oh no, it's
So,
definitely not that.
It's been a little while since we've talked, so just to pick us up and kick us off running. So from community happenings and updates to the fire building getting put together, we've not seen each other since before the holidays.
Yes.
So there's a few things that discuss and go around. Of course, some big events happening here at Columbia City High School. We just had on Friday. What the state, the team go to state. I'm trying to remember what it wasn't our bowling team though.
Wrestling?
They were doing what? Yes, thank you.
Wrestling.
Girls wrestling.
Yeah.
Yep, they just did a walkthrough today through Columbia City.
Nice.
And then of course, Titus, one of the local businesses, has acquired Precision Plastics, as well as some other things that are happening. Did you want to start off the topic of the conversation there, Mr.
I
Mayor?
mean, we can talk about Titus for a second. That's a really cool opportunity for us. Precision Plastics has been a long time Columbia City business, and there came an opportunity for Titus, which is this kind of global company, to acquire and effectively merge with.
$1 million company.
Yeah, huge company, and they are acquiring Precision Plastics and creating basically their U.S. headquarters here in Columbia City, which is a really cool thing. As you may know, we have multiple companies now that have created their U.S. headquarters here in Columbia City, and so that's a really exciting thing that we can kind of help with. The City Council is giving I think it's a 3-year abatement, so it's really a great thing for everybody involved. The employees, as I understand, that were with Precision are going to be staying there, and they're going to be adding more employees, adding more equipment, etc. And so it's a win-win for so many people. But we're excited that we can be the host of their U.S. headquarters here in Columbia City.
Now, if I remember correctly, that's over near the Bones Theater side of town. Connection Way, is that place?
Yes.
And they're the building that I don't know if it's me. It's let me Google it. Googling. Yeah. It's the building that looks kind of like a modern piano, if that makes sense. Really solid, modern, striking lines to me, white, and it has a bar of windows across the middle.
Yes,
So
I would never have looked at it that way, but now I will forever.
You're
So
welcome.
Thank you, Mr.
welcome.
Plaza.
You're welcome.
And actually, what's kind of neat about that whole corridor in that area, so you think about it, so Titus has taken over that property, that building, and expanding on that. The old Post and Mail building was acquired by Moore Farm Store, and so they've done some really cool things with that. Obviously, we have the senior living facility that opened up there. We have other developments, our solar parks back there. So that whole park really just seems to be really having a lot of energy over the last, let's say, year and a half. And I think there's still a lot of opportunity for individuals to develop within that park as well. So, yeah.
So speaking of that, the kind of getting on the west side, we were talking about pre-show here that more updates were happening when it comes to the what are we calling it? I want to say the West Noble, but it's Westgate.
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 Yes. Westgate. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
update us on that, and how soon am I getting my fast internet?
So from a Westgate standpoint, as you'll remember, we were awarded $900 and some thousand from the Indiana Department of Transportation for basically the overhaul of the first phase of Westgate, which is the far east section of that neighborhood. And it will be new roads, new sidewalks, new curbs, new stormwater lines, things like that. And so we're now moving toward the bidding process. So that's actually going to be happening, I think, within the next month or so. And we really should start seeing dirt being turned, I'm going to say, within the next 2 to 3 months. We have a neighborhood meeting coming up on January 24th. And so lots of really good things are happening there for Westgate. We're excited about really transforming that neighborhood that, was brought in the 90s and wasn't really given the city treatment. They didn't get sidewalks. They didn't really get good, better, wider streets. They didn't get curbs. They didn't get the things that really kind of come with being a part of the city, and frankly, what a lot of people pay their taxes for, right? So it provided a really good opportunity for us to expand on that. As for fiber, as you mentioned, fiber is a really good opportunity for us, and that's they continue to put in the conduit. That's kind of the latest update I have, is conduit has been installed in a large portion of phase 1 and started in phase 2. So you basically have north on 109 and those subdivisions, and then over in Columbia Shores area, that also conduit is being installed there as well.
So we are looking to start the project. You said turning dirt here in the next couple of months, and part of those upgrades that I think that will probably improve the overall internet access as we have our phones out and are looking up things and stuff like that throughout our days. We'll be able to feel those improvements in speeds and connectivity. I know sometimes I just go places and it feels like, oh, where did I go? My phone, I'm doing the holding it up in the air, trying to figure out where signal is and stuff like that. But internet connectivity speeds, do you know where we'll be going for speeds? I know you're not a technical engineer or anything like that, but are we expecting to be faster than Fort Wayne? Are we fiber to the home level?
Yeah.
What will be the ultimate impact for me?
Sure. Yeah. So if you're a resident of the city of Columbia City, I have been assured that there will be fiber to the home access for everybody. So now there's a little caveat on that.
Ask what that means.
Yeah. Fiber to the home.
What does that mean?
Good job.
Great question. So what fiber to the home really means is that there's conduit that's laid and dark fiber, or actually lit fiber, that's laid throughout our neighborhoods in kind of a spider web, if you will, of connection. Okay, so to the home specifically means that you will have direct access to that pipeline of fiber. Now, for those individuals out there that are not technologically, knowledgeable, like in some ways I am, or maybe some of us here in the studio, really what that means is that fiber optic internet basically communicates through flashes of light, okay? And fiber optic internet has shown through scientific studies that it does not, they still have not found a limit as to how fast things can be pumped through fiber. So basically, for basically in layman's terms, it really is dependent on what is transferring or sending information and what is receiving information that determines the speed that the fiber can take. But here's what you need to know. Is once this fiber project is done and residents have fiber to the home access, they will have the ability to get up to a gigabit of speed, okay? to give you perspective,
So as fast as the system can
as
go,
fast
and
as the system can go, yes.
because it's lit or
Yes.
dark,
Yeah.
they're actually transmitting over flashes of light,
Yes.
which light is one of the fastest things,
Sure.
not just here,
Light
but
is the fastest thing in the universe.
in
It is
the
speed
universe.
limit.
There you go.
In the universe. So
Yes.
we're using not just electrical beeps or Morse code or
Right.
anything like that. Is the
Right.
fast. So we have, in theory, as fast as the machines on either end can travel.
absolutely.
It's as fast as we can. So you're only limited by the devices now,
That's
rather
exactly
than
right.
the cable itself.
Now, I would also say keep in mind that obviously as the fiber provider, so the individual that's providing the fiber to you or the connection to you, obviously they have some ability to limit the speeds as well. But the point of the matter is that right now throughout Columbia City, there are areas most areas can only get coax cable. So that little piece of copper, if you will, that is the only thing that they can really transmit currently throughout the city of Columbia City. So once the fiber gets in the ground, it is going to create exponential opportunity for not only individuals working from home, but businesses to send and receive all kinds of orders and opportunities, people to develop just an infinite amount of stuff. And here's the really cool thing about Surf. And by the way, I'm not a paid spokesperson for Surf, so I just want to make sure that's known. But the really cool thing about that is that a gigabit speed, they've told me, is advertised at $95 a month. Okay, I'm old enough to remember when we got, I think it was 24. I don't know, 24 kilobit or something like that. I mean, I can remember when we got a meg of speed, megabit of speed, and that was really exciting. At my home right now, I have 100 meg speeds. Okay, so think about it this way: 100 meg speed versus a gigabit of speed. So you're 1,000 times. Basically, 1,000.
You're adding zeros.
Yes, you're adding zeros.
Adding zeros.
You're
It's
going
not even comparable.
exponentially
Fun
up.
fact for you: coaxial cable was invented in 1850s.
Okay.
And it really saw its heyday through the first commercial TV when it was first implemented. It was actually the 1940s and saw its big boom of the cable companies
Yes.
in the 60s. In the 60s into the 80s when we had the big cable company heydays,
Right.
even into the 90s when they were just raking in money. So we studied this in school, and
Yeah.
so I graduated myself, Central Michigan University, not that long ago, and we had in the broadcast, in the computer world, we thought it was the creme de la creme to have fiber to the home, because in theory there was nothing better.
Right.
So the fact that we're getting this
Yeah.
in Columbia City puts us on a marketplace
Yeah.
that we're not only, it's convenient for our TikTok videos that we're flipping through and checking updates on our cat at the house and stuff like that, but on a commerce level, this is the dream that we had when I was in college, when computers were taking over the world.
Yeah. And not only is it, and the speed in and of itself obviously puts us on par with basically every major metropolitan area across the country. But even the cool thing about that, moreover, is that the cost. I mean, $95 a month is very reasonable for a gigabit speed. If you think about, again, I can remember when we first got internet at our house, and it was pretty expensive for very low speeds.
And it went ding, ding,
But
ding,
yes,
ding.
yes, you had to go through all the sounds, but it was unlocking the opportunity of internet. And so I think that this is just that next step, but just really creates an opportunity for all of our residents and all of our businesses to truly excel in this global economy.
Yeah, and it is also, I was thinking about this the other day, like even if just, hypothetically, you're uploading a file and you're sending that via email or to Drive or whatever, and even if that takes 5 minutes, you do that once, twice a day. So say it takes you 10 minutes a day, you work 5 days a week, that's 50 minutes a week.
Yeah.
So you do that over the course of a year, that's 26 hours, or I'm sorry, course of a year is 52 weeks, you do it once a week. So that you spent an entire work week just uploading stuff. So if you can save 5 seconds,
Sure.
you can save 20 seconds. I do that, you do that, students here, John does that, Chloe does that. Like, as a workforce on the whole, we're saving a work week out of the year.
Yeah.
I never thought about. I'm never waiting on hold ever again. Nonetheless, waiting around for my internet.
And it really,
it's so integrated.
That's the really cool thing, is that at the end of the day, it just is going to open up a whole new level of opportunity for so many entities and residents and businesses across our city, and really puts us on the map as yet another destination point for residents looking for a great place to call home.
I think this is fun. John, you were giving me a hand signal there. Are we wrapping up our time here? Dude, was there any other topics that we needed to?
Halfway time.
I
want to hear about the new fire academy that is getting put in. When was it put in? December
28th. Yeah, 28th. We opened up a fire training facility, and it's over on South Whitley Street near the Bluebell apartments there, Bluebell Lofts apartments. But what's really neat about this facility, well, there's lots of things that are neat about the facility, but we identified that one of the biggest challenges we had overall was finding opportunities for our firefighters to go and train, because in many of these training academies, it's just challenging to get in, because there's so many firefighters trying to get those training hours in, and just not a whole lot of training opportunities or training facilities to share. And so we looked at it and said, okay, what kind of opportunities do we have that we could create here in Columbia City? And so some of our firefighters found basically a company that takes the storage containers and cuts out pieces and kind of does things with them, but basically recycles them in a way to create a 2-story kind of 4-container wide structure.
Sure,
and so they're all put together. And so inside that structure, we can put couches, we can put chairs, we can put end tables, we can put things like that, and basically pump it full of smoke.
Right.
And they can again, it's a training to figure out if I'm going into a fire, I need to be able to navigate these kind of things. And then we also have, I think, 2 different burn rooms inside there, so that they can, again, get through there, understand that, fight that fire, things to that effect. And it's completely has all of the restrictions and everything.
It's a reusable structure.
Yes.
So to get training, the fire crews don't have to go and burn down a structure,
right,
and put their unexperienced crews in that and do it in a safe, manageable, repeatable way that allows them to, on the inside. Oh, that's a cool idea. I've never had to train a firefighter before, but I would hate to have to burn down a building for training practice.
And honestly, that's the thing that's interesting is there is a movement away from burning those kind of structures, because a lot of those structures don't necessarily have good stuff that's burning. Like if you think about the lead paint and you think about some of the chemicals and stuff. So actually, the city of Bloomington, I don't know, a few months ago, got in some pretty good trouble because there was a high lead level after they had done a controlled burn like you're talking about. And so this kind of facility, we burn wood products, so it's not going to be paint-based stuff. It's not going to be oil-based or anything like that. But I say that just to say it creates an opportunity for our firefighters to do live training in fire and smoke scenarios that they really don't have that opportunity to do right now.
It's controlled. So
absolutely controlled.
And not only, and I think we're missing really the beneficial portion of this. It's great to have the environmental factors, but doing this long term. Yes, of course, you don't want to pay attention, or you don't want to not pay attention to that. But what we're really looking at is there's a demand in the industry in a very much needed professional field, and we're developing facilities that allow us to unburden this demand on the current facilities that they are, so we can satisfy more communities, not just abroad, but also here locally in Indiana. I think that's great. That's seeing a need, meeting a demand, and coming up with a good remedy that also happens to be safe. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And again, we are always looking at ways in which we can have better trained, more prepared firefighters, police officers, public safety officials overall. And this was just one of those additional opportunities that we had to locate something here in Columbia City and make it impactful. And at the end of the day, it benefits residents because our firefighters are ready to go when something happens.
So kind of getting to the commerce and the environmental impact. Where is this located one more time? I like to see things as I go by.
South Whitley Street. So it's right across from the concrete plant, if you will, right on South Whitley, near the Bluebell Lofts apartments there. So, yes.
Okay.
So there's actually there's a trailhead building there that's a couple of restrooms and some seating area there where the trail kind of comes up and hits Whitley Street. Right next to it's the Fire Museum. And right behind the Fire Museum is the fire training facility.
We have a fire museum?
Yes, we do.
I need to explore town a little bit more often.
Need to get out more.
Get out more.
So our fire training facility we named after Council President Walt Crowder, and the reason for that it was a really great ceremony we had on the 28th. But the reason I say that is because Walt is next year's election year for local government for cities, towns. And he will be retiring at the end of next year. And so it creates an opportunity for us to really not only, recognize his years of service on the council, but it also gives the opportunity to recognize his many years in public service, whether it was on the fire department, whether it was being deputy chief of the fire department, all the things that he has done in this community. And it was a great way we could say thank you.
Okay. Practical question.
Yes.
At this facility, will we be expecting smoke rising from that area when it burns structures? Is this something that we're going to get like calls about? Like, hey, there's smoke over there, guys. Check it out. Perhaps I should call someone of authority.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. I mean the thing is it's not close to a ton of houses. It's kind of tucked back next to the river, if you will. And certainly when we're doing burns, we'll have firefighters there. I mean, people will know that we're doing it. It's not like a secretive thing. But the really cool thing about the facility is we actually can control airflow based on vents. So we can open up a vent and make the airflow one way, or close the vent and make it flow another way. And that way, again, you have different types of training scenarios. It's a multifaceted type.
Mayor Daniel, were you playing around with this when you went out with the giant scissors to cut the ribbon?
I was not. No, I am not trained, nor am I equipped to do
Forget
this.
the microphones are on. Forget the microphones on. Were you out there playing around with events?
No, but I will tell you, I believe the first burn is going to be coming up here in the next couple of weeks for the first time. And obviously our firefighters are really excited about utilizing that facility.
Okay. We'll update as that goes. Is this the first of many? Is this just our little local communities? Do you know the number of the training program numbers that we're expected for the number of future employees that will be going through?
Yeah, I don't have those specific numbers. The best I can tell you, though, is that really we're starting this in a place where our firefighters are the exclusive users of it. And from a broader perspective, obviously that means they're not going to other facilities and things like that. But we really believe that this is it is an attractional thing. Just like everything else, we're looking for good employees, just like so many other individuals are. In fact, we're having a fire training process right now where I think we're planning to hire, 2. But long story short is it just makes us that much more attractive of a department.
And we get the benefit. We're safer. We're, of course, not just offering firefighters, but we're offering training, jobs, careers going forward, and ultimately growing to play a little bit bigger than just the town of Columbia City and the surrounding areas, which I think is fun. I look forward to seeing who we bring in. Are we going to be recruiting the Tom Brady's of the fire world and see what happens with these new facilities? It's funny how things like that tend to chain and go from there. I guess I'm just, I don't know. I love seeing new businesses pop up all over the place.
So, Mr. Daniels, new topic, unplanned topic. Side question: have you ever been to prom before?
I went to prom 2 years when I was in high school.
All right. So this Sunday,
coming up here at Columbia City.
This Sunday is semi-formal, which is kind of the all high school version of prom.
Yes.
Do you have any tips for students who are going there?
Yes.
For dancing, staying safe, all of that stuff.
Sure.
I'm sure the students would like to hear from a
So
professional.
I'll first ask, where is semi-formal taking place?
This is happening at the Grand Theater in Fort Wayne, I believe.
Yes. Grand Wayne Center?
I believe so.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously a couple things. Number one, I'm going to give a tip to the guys first, and that is, gentlemen, be a gentleman. Treat your date like a lady, and be an upstanding gentleman. That whole, not only when you pick them up in front of the parents, but also throughout the evening. That's really important. But I think from a safety perspective, obviously, always make sure you know your surroundings, what's going on, where your stuff is. If you can leave articles that of value in your vehicle, make sure your vehicle is locked. All those kind of things that you would normally do, I think you would hope that you would normally do either at school or in other places. I always say is you just imagine yourself in inner city New York and prepare for that, even though you know that the chances of any bad stuff happening to you is probably really slim, especially in Northeast Indiana. But just plan that way, and then you're protected. And I know that the school administrators and others are going to make sure that everything goes without a hitch there as well. But yeah, and certainly I would also maybe encourage our students to consider eating in town. If I understand there's a lot of great places in Fort Wayne, and I'll probably eat there sometime in the near future as well, somewhere in Fort Wayne. But we have a great sushi restaurant now.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems. Did you finally
Udon
try it?
noodles. Oh, so
yeah,
good. Tokyo Steakhouse downtown.
Yes.
Please sponsor my habit. Is what I should say. If you haven't had a chance, it's right downtown, right next to
Starbank.
But it's right next to Okie Alley. Yeah,
right next to Okie Alley,
right down the way from Starbank. Yeah, so we have Tokyo. We also have Pickles Cafe, which is a really cool eclectic type place. Certainly, if you want a dog, there's there's all kinds of chili dogs and things at the Nook and lots of other restaurants, certainly downtown and lots of other restaurants. But
their chili is back, by the way.
Oh, is it back? See,
I got those.
I didn't see recently.
I picked up a shirt the other day.
It says the chili is back.
It was cold and it's just one of those things. And what I spent like $4.
Mm-hmm.
$4 is a great place.
$4. So shout out to those guys. Yeah,
it
for
is.
sure.
So again, I just say that is the more that individuals can buy local, and I understand this is a special occasion, so most people will go to a different place. But the more people can buy local, the more supported local businesses are.
I did get a shirt. Don't give me those faces.
Did you really get a shirt?
I did get a shirt. Yeah.
See, here we thought you were just kidding.
No. They conveniently right there is running around.
Okay.
And so,
yes,
of course, they teamed up together.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's great. That's
Too
great.
much coffee running through my system.
So best wishes, obviously, to all of the semi-formal students, and hopefully it's a very successful and safe prom. I keep saying prom, semi-formal, and gentlemen, treat your ladies well.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for coming on to WJHS for Mondays with the Mayors. It wouldn't be the same without you.
Oh,
obviously.
thank you.
So to kind of wrap up everything we've talked about really quick, we've talked about, what did we talk about? I completely forgot.
New fire department. We've talked about the Westgate communications that have happened. We've talked about precision plastics being purchased. Updates in the community in regards. Did we hit up how we're doing in COVID numbers and what the medical community is seeing in our area? I know it's a topic that some people go at, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to have that information compared to like Michigan, compared to how's Ohio, how's Fort Wayne doing.
It's pretty rampant. It's pretty rampant throughout the state of Indiana right now. A lot of Omicron. So the nice thing is that seems to be taking over Delta, which is a much stronger variant. But overall, we're definitely struggling with COVID across the area and certainly across Whitley County. But we will keep powering through like we do.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very much. This has been Mondays with the Mayor on WJHS 91.5. I wanted to give a quick shout out to our mini Miracle students, of course, with Indian Springs. Didn't get to mention them earlier. I think it's credit is due where credit is due, and those guys, staff and students alike, deserve some credit. So shout out to you guys. Thank you very much. That being said, Mondays with the Mayor. Mayor, always nice to have you in.
Thank you.
Join us next time, Mondays with the Mayor, here on WJHS 91.5, The Eagle, broadcasting from Columbia City High School. Views and opinions expressed here do not represent WCCS. Search for WJHS on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more. Write to us your comments and questions to be voiced on the air. WJHS is 91.5 The Eagle.